Hello and welcome to Westleigh. This is my latest project which took over from Avon Beach. Sadly Avon Beach had to be scrapped as I made too many silly mistakes. So after I scrapped that, I built another board, and that's basically how it stayed. Been used as a table. You can see the glue marks there and various flock marks where I've been doing other things on it. But a couple of weeks ago I decided I really should get on and build a new layout. So this one's a bit different to the one that went before. It's 7 foot by 2 foot, so it's the same size, but now it's a continuous run. It's also been updated in terms of its era as well. It's now set in the northwest in around about 1998, which isn't a common era to see. It's also going to have overhead line equipment on it, so you can run some AC electrics. It's not very easy to show you all the layout. There you go, there's the shed area there. So it's on one board as well, so ease for transportation, only need connections between the panel and the layout. It's DC control using code 80 track and electrofrog points. I was tempted to go down the DCC road, but in the end I decided probably to stay with DC. Although most locos are modern locos, I just thought, looking at the cost of it, I couldn't justify it yet. But maybe in the future. Anyway, as you can see, you've got a conventional station along the front. I should have marked in some black lines because I should be starting to put the scenic brake in soon. All the track is laid in the scenic section, so that's all you're going to get. There's a few little jobs to do, a few little fill-in sleepers here to put in, and then I can start painting it. I'll probably actually overspray it with an aerosol can. Probably the easiest way. Certainly all of the yard anyway. I might paint the concrete sleepered areas rather than, let's give them a very light dusting over. But as you can see, we've got a station here. Obviously there's an HST in it. It's a bit over long, but it can fit. It won't fit actually in the platform because it is too long. Although saying that, I suppose it might just. There is a passing loop. You can't really see it because obviously the HST is sat across the points. Got a couple of sidings there, head shunt. Obviously a shed. That's the shed off my other layout, the little depot shed layout, which is currently boxed up behind me. In fact, this table was being used to support work on that. But obviously you can see the video at the back. I've only just started using that set track point simply for convenience. It's 4 road. I don't think I'd get another road in there, to be honest with you, with the space I've got. So rather than push it, I thought 4 was fine. Now this is where the unusual bit comes with this layout, because what I've decided to do is, a few of the layouts I'd seen recently had fill yards at 90 degrees. Now, one of them had them in the centre, and some of them have them at the end. So I decided, obviously I've got 4 straight through roads round the back. As you can see there's one fan there, another fan there. What I thought was, why don't I just put 2 fill yards at 90 degrees? Obviously using set track on the curves obviously helps quite considerably because it's all set radius. So basically, you can see there's one bit of track that goes straight off. And if we go down to this end, again, you can see the other end goes straight off at 90 degrees. So when it's at home, I've just simply got the plain 4 roads. And then when I want to go to a show, I can add the other fill yard boards. I've got the fill yard boards. They're both 5 foot long. Stained 9mm ply with a frame. In fact, they formed a test track years ago, but they're still perfectly usable and solid. And obviously, they pair up for transport. Obviously, it has to go in a van, but that's not a problem. So, in terms of actually boxing them up and stuff like that, it's not a problem. But there'll be a standard ladder fill yard, probably 6 road or maybe 5 road. So that means I can either operate the layout as an end-to-end or as a roundy-roundy, depending upon how I see fit. But obviously, it does allow me to have a lot longer rates. Now, there's not much on here at the moment, but as I say, it's going to be set in the northwest, somewhere around about probably Manchester, Crewe, Chester kind of triangle. So as you can see, there's a little depot fuel oil train, it's got the ballast wagons. So the beauty with that era was there was a lot of the older diesel locos were still left, and including things like the old Regional 101, which is one of the things I've got to do. I've actually got 2 Regional Railways ones now. I want to get an NSC one and a green one as well, but I'm not quite sure how to go about the green one, whether to respray the correct body mould refurb, which is a regional one, or simply add yellow warning panels and a headlight to the early ones, but which don't necessarily have the extra grills, etc., that they were given later on in life. So, as I mentioned earlier, obviously it's going to have overhead wiring on it. It'll probably be dapole masts. They won't be modelled of the wire because I simply don't think it's worth it. The main line will obviously be done. The loop will be done. I'm not going to do any of the siding, so although there's 2 AC electrics parked in there, I'm not sure at the moment. If I do it, it'll simply be the head shunt and probably the 2 stabling roads rather than doing the shed road. The shed road will probably just be a diesel shed. I was going to put pits in there, but having looked at most photographs of depots of that size or local inspection points of that size, a lot of them didn't have pits. Simply because I suppose they just simply didn't need them really. It would only be for general servicing, light refuelling and maintenance, so it probably wouldn't be needed. There'll be a fueling point to go on there around the outside, a little one just to fit in there, so might not bother actually, I might just leave it as it is. But yeah, so that's that. So yeah, that's the project. It's called Westleigh. It's on the Engage forum, Facebook group, and the main website, the main forum group. As I say, why? Somebody did ask me why did I choose 1998. Well, simple reason being, it's an era not many people have modelled. In a 00N or any O gauge, anything really, it's not really been done. A lot of people do up to date, and sectorisation has started to come in. But I thought about doing something different. Now I'm sure, obviously, in 10 years' time, of course, everybody will be doing it. But for me, it's the era I remember. But you've got the beauties. You can have a Dutch 37. A blue shunter, an EWS shunter, and a mainline 58, together with other sector locos and modern image DMUs. I mean, there's a Northern Spirit 158, a First Northwestern 150, which I've got to take the logos off of. I'd like to use the newer detailed coaches on this, but unfortunately, until Farish actually bring out the new air cons with in Virgin livery or even intercity livery would be nice. Obviously, that's a non-starter. I might get 166 because obviously the first 66 was delivered in April 98. There was another late batch in August, and then from September 1998 onwards there were regular deliveries, but I think up to 34 may have been delivered before Christmas. Obviously, of course, I go a bit 97 to 99, so I might get one just to have one. But it'll be modelled fairly clean. But anyway, that's it for now. Next job, as I say, will be to do the fiddle yard. Do that over the next couple of days. So the key with this project is not to rush. I'm taking my time. I'm doing maybe half an hour here and there. So rather than doing lots and just doing it all, trying to space out a bit. So, but there you go. That's it for now. So I'll do the fiddle yard tomorrow. So there'll be a video update probably in a week or so. Hopefully by that time I might have sprayed the track as well, simply with a rattle can. But any questions, you can obviously, if you're watching this on the Facebook group, obviously you can ask. Or if you want to ask anyway, see it on YouTube, you can see it on the Engage forum. It can be found on there. So, okay then, ta-ta.